Representatives is, quote, a pro-dynasty measure. A workers group says about 100,000 construction workers lost their jobs amid the controversy in flood control projects. And will the Bangko Sentral keep on cutting rates or take a pause on February 19th? Money Talks takes a straw poll on what appears to be a toss-up between 25 and 50 basis points. Thirty-one business and civil society groups are calling for a genuine law banning political dynasties. They say the bill filed before the House of Representatives is, quote, a pro-dynasty measure. In a joint statement yesterday, the groups say an absence of an anti-dynasty law has caused corruption to foster and ordinary citizens to be marginalized. Signatories include the Makati Business Club, Management Association of the Philippines, and the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The group suggests three clear provisions for an effective anti-dynasty law: prohibit relatives within the fourth degree of consanguinity, ban substitution, rotation, and position switching, and establish a mandatory cooling-off period. The groups believe that House Bill 6771, filed by Speaker Boji D. and Congressman Sandro Marcos, falls short of the Constitution's intent. With succession, switching, substitution, and rotation among relatives permitted, the bill effectively preserves monopoly over political power. One political analyst tells Storycon that the second-degree affinity is the most acceptable limit for lawmakers. Whatever the compromise, he says, this is the perfect opportunity to enact an anti-dynasty law.
Minimum number para sa mga dynasty at sa iba na very practical naman is up to the second degree, no? Pero kailangan sabay yung simultaneous at successive. This is a very rare window of opportunity in which even the dynasties, even the elites are open to reforms, no? And consistent public pressure and of course lobbying would help.
Around 100,000 construction workers have lost their jobs amid the controversy over alleged irregularities in flood control projects. The National Union of Building and Construction Workers says the impact has been massive as the government confirmed a sharp decline in employment in the sector. In an interview on 1PH's One Balita Pilipinas, NUBCW Secretary General Santiago Nolia spoke about what might have triggered the widespread job losses.
Sa akibat ng investigasyon na isinagawa ng Kongreso ay ang kanselasyon ng pick-up permits or business permits nitong mga involved na contractors dito sa flood control scam. Meaning, kapag kinancel natin ang registration yan o kaya ang kanilang permits, nangangahulugan niya ng pagsasarado ng kanilang kumpanya. At sa bawat pagsasarado, may mga manggagawa ang nawawalan ng trabaho. Sa amin pong pakikipag-usap sa Department of Labor, sa estimate po namin ay mahigit po sa 100,000 manggagawa. Ito po ay Setyembre pa lamang ng 2025. So malamang sa malamang, kaugnay din po ito ng lumabas na 2.26 million na walang trabaho. Ang malaking porsyento rito ay nagmumula sa construction sector.
For its part, the Labor Department confirmed that employment in the construction sector has fallen significantly. In a separate interview on One Balita Pilipinas, DOLE spokesperson Leonard Constantine Serrano said construction employment declined by about 500,000 year-on-year from 5.3 million in December 2024 to 4.8 million in December 2025. Asked about safeguards in case of large-scale layoffs, Serrano outlined the agency's response measures.
Sa mga pagkakataon na ito, meron po tayong actually quick response approach na kapag na-anticipate po natin na may malakihang pagtanggalan sa isang industriya, tayo po ay agaran na nagdidirekta sa ating mga regional offices to the regional directors na mag-monitor at mag-profile ng mga manggagawang apektado.
The share of soured loans in the Philippine banking system continued to ease in December, falling to its lowest level in over 5 years. Preliminary data from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas show the industry's non-performing loan ratio improved to 3.27% in December from 3.54% in November. This marks the lowest clip since the 2% recorded in August 2020. Jonathan Ravelas of Reyes Tacandong and Company said the decline reflects better asset quality and more cautious lending as borrowers' repayment capacity improved and banks tightened underwriting standards. In peso terms, bad loans still rose 5.2% to about 526 billion pesos, but total lending grew faster at 11.6% to 17.1 trillion pesos, helping pull the overall NPL ratio lower. With less than a week to go before the Monetary Board decides on policy, the Money Talks team compiled all the interviews we've done over the last 2 weeks on how they think monetary policymakers will decide on February 19. And the consensus is a cut. But whether that's 25 or 50 in one go is a toss-up. 50 in one go, though, some say, would seem like policymakers hitting the panic button in its pro-growth push. For independent economists or those in the academe, 50 bips of a cut in one go would do the economy well in response to what one calls a hard landing.
But after this weak Q4 GDP reading, certainly a February cut is almost a done deal from our perspective. I wouldn't be surprised if some push for a 50 basis point reduction. I remember the governor saying last year that, only under a hard landing situation will we ever consider such a big rate cuts. But at the moment, 3% growth for economy as undeveloped as the Philippines, so it has high growth potential. 3% growth is in the local context a hard landing. Crisis period aside, GFC or COVID.
From my vantage point, from the vantage point of the university, they should cut at least 50 basis points.
In one go?
In one go.
Isn't that going to
for
cause
next
panic?
week. For those, no, we're already panicking. The GDP has already gone down to as low as the 2011 level, at 3% of fourth quarter.
The mandate of the Bangko Sentral is price stability, so they have every right to focus on price stability over economic growth. Our forecast is 25 basis points cut next week and another 25 sometime down the year, so 50 for the full year.
We wouldn't really recommend that because it could look like they're panicking. But for the whole of this year, they could do as much as 50 basis points, Cathy. Again, watching closely whether inflation will remain within target because we really think that growth will continue to disappoint.
For those monitoring the markets, a 25 basis point cut next week has got to be the minimum.
I think there is space for the room for one more cut next week. Markets expect the same. And hopefully there's more room for other cut. But I think what markets are thinking now is, yes, there's space for one more cut this next week.
Governor Remolona joins us on February 20 for an exclusive interview post-policy decision. Catch him here same time next Friday, speaking to us on Money Talks. Finance Secretary Frederick Go says the Philippines' inaugural inclusion in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, economic survey reflects growing global confidence in the country's sound policies. Go noted that the Philippines has been among the fastest-growing emerging markets over the past 15 years, citing its young and expanding population as a key driver of domestic consumption. The OECD report showed the Philippine economy expanded by more than 6% on average annually since 2011, faster than the ASEAN 4 average of around 5%, and just under 4% for G20 emerging markets. OECD Secretary General Matias Corman said the country has made significant progress in strengthening growth and improving living standards. The Philippines joined the survey for the first time alongside Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam. You're watching Money Talks, coming right up. When we return, we'll look at how a homegrown brand is navigating the season of love on tightened purse strings. Christian Valdez, General Manager of CMV Chocolate, joins us next. Welcome back to Money Talks. I'm Cathy Yang, checking in on the markets now. Deepening AI anxiety triggers massive sell-offs on Wall Street this Thursday. The Nasdaq dropped by over 2%. S&P 500 tumbled by 1.5%, and the Dow pulled back from the 50,000 mark, retreating by 1.3%. Benchmark 10-year Treasury yields ticked down to 4.103%, and gold prices declined to $4,923 per ounce. U.S. futures are moving marginally in after-hours trading. S&P and the Nasdaq up by 0.1% each, and the Dow rises by less than 0.1%. Asian markets tracking Wall Street losses today. Australia's ASX 200 tumbles by over 1.25%. Japan's Nikkei 225 falls by nearly 1%, and South Korea's Kospi slides by nearly 0.5%. And a look at our own markets at this final trading day of the week. The PSCI opens higher by 0.1% at 6,481. The stock market pulled back yesterday as investors took profits following a two-day rally. The broader all-shares index slid by 0.33%, with sectoral gauges mostly in the red. As for the Philippine peso, it opens today a tad stronger, 58.10 to the dollar. The peso closed yesterday stronger at 58.115 against the greenback. Metrobank sees the peso performing better this year due to expectations of an economic rebound. In a commentary, Metrobank forecasts the local unit to hit 59.70 to the dollar by the end of this year, stronger than the previous estimate of 60.80. It likewise projects the peso to end 2027 at 58.50 to the dollar, up from the earlier estimate of 58.90. And the 10-year government bond yields went little changed at 5.958%. In corporate news, Maynilad shares surged to a record high Wednesday, climbing above 20 pesos for the first time since its initial public offering in November. The rally followed news that the water utility will be added to the MSCI Philippines Small Cap Index under the February 2026 review of the MSCI Equity Indexes. Maynilad debuted on the stock exchange on November 7, 2025 at 15 pesos per share, raising over 34 billion pesos in what became the second largest IPO in Philippine stock exchange history. On Wednesday, the firm's stock rose as much as 6% before closing at 20 pesos and 15 centavos. The inclusion, effective after February 27, is seen as a positive, as it may attract buying from funds to track the MSCI benchmark. Digital financial services firm Maya has been recognized as one of Mandaluyong City's top taxpayers. The city government cited Maya Philippines and Maya Bank for their significant contributions to local revenues, supporting public services and development programs. The recognition also highlights the company's continued compliance with tax obligations as it expands operations from Mandaluyong, where it maintains key business functions. Maya says it remains committed to supporting local economic growth while providing digital payment solutions that help modernize government and business transactions in the city. Romance is colliding with reality. A slowing economy, a weaker peso, and shaken confidence amid the government corruption scandal. Well, we've got an entrepreneur helping us navigate the season of love. CMV Sokola General Manager Christian Valdez started making chocolates for friends and family, and when Manila Titas began spreading the word, demand grew big enough that it naturally evolved into a business. He's now on his 14th year. Well, welcome to you, Christian, and happy V-Day.
Hello, happy Valentine's Day.
What are you doing here? I mean, you should be in your shop. It should be a busy season for you. But
no
how
sleep.
No sleep. How
Yeah.
are sales coming along, though? You've got comparisons from previous years. Is it any better? Is it just as good or bad?
So this year it's actually quite good. For our sales are 10% higher than last year, so pretty good. But our team is also, working hard. Team no sleep. But we love what we do, and we have an unlimited energy source, which is chocolate. So that also keeps us going.
Daily sugar rush, 10% higher. Tell us about the customers that you're seeing right now. I mean, what are they buying, and how were you able to pump it up to 10%? I mean, it is a slowing economy. I mean, no one really thinks about the economy when they buy chocolates. But of course, they think about the budgets, don't they?
Yes.
Purchasing powers.
So actually, what really helped us this year, so we have partnerships with malls. We also had some new product development, which really helped boost us forward, and also good promotion on social media. So that's, and also this. So that's really helped us with increasing our sales, especially from last year. Last year was a little slower. I think a lot of people in the F&B industry really felt it. But this year we started out strong, and we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's
Why
really
is that?
helping
I mean,
us.
that's pretty interesting that you say it was a little slower last year. What were the drivers of that? Considering that, when I look at the macro, it seems like people might be spending less, thinking that there might be job losses down the line. So they might want to spend in basics first before they get to the sugar rush.
Definitely. Well, chocolate is considered a luxury product, but also the cost of cacao has gone up significantly because over the past few years, there has been a bit of a drought in terms of supply on the market. So that coupled with what's going on, geopolitics around the world, trade routes, and also looking at just cacao costs increasing and also tourism dropping a little bit. That really affected a lot of F&B, especially chocolate.
I'm thinking about the supply chains now because a lot of your chocolates are artisanal, so you probably would have to import a lot of the material to get it done. How was that like, and how did you navigate? And I'm thinking about the Trump tariffs and all that.
So what we did, so we are producing some of our chocolate locally using local cacao, but because we do also have a high demand and our facility right now is trying to meet that demand, we're also working with chocolates that are imported, but also that have a great flavor profile that suit the flavors that we're really developing. So our goal here is actually to promote Philippine culture and ingredients. So it's not so much as the chocolate 100%, but we're also trying to encapsulate Philippine culture and ingredients and use chocolate as the conduit to deliver it.
So that component is getting bigger and bigger, would you say? And can the local supply actually make up for whatever you wouldn't be using imported?
Right now, it's a little difficult because locally what's being produced cacao-wise is a fraction, and there's a lot of new players on the market. So it's hard to get the quality and the volume that we really need.
All right, so I go back to costs then. I mean, did you manage to keep the costs where they are, or did you have to kind of bump that up a little to gain back the margins?
Last year, we didn't want to shock our market so much, so we actually didn't do any price increases. It was kind of like our gift to the customers and everything. So it was a bit of a struggle for us, but we managed to come out strong, especially, of course, because we didn't do any price increases. Our cost margin did go up a bit.
Are you raising prices though?
This year,
Valentine
yes.
season, how come? And by how much?
So not by much. We're probably doing about 1% right now. This will help us improve packaging, strengthen our branding, but also not shock the market right away.
Okay, and that 10% came even with a 1% bump up in the price increase. What's the market going forward? I mean, this is all seasonal. I mean, they'll buy chocolates and then what? And how are you planning for that and making sure that they remember you? They remember the sugar rush.
So we make sure that we have new promos, and we're also really highlighting Philippine culture. So some of the flavors that we have are quite unique. So we're talking about like gumamela, gin pomelo. We even have like sisig, kare-kare. So we have these unique flavors. So this typically piques interest, especially because they're very Filipino forward. And then it also just like really helps us stay relevant. Now, in terms of also making sure that our products always have a market, there's always something to celebrate, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary or any celebration. So chocolates, whether it's in season or not, always have a place at the table.
Let me pick up on Philippine favorite. Are they latching on to local? Do you find that a lot more customers are gearing more towards, conscious buying of what is local than imported?
From 10 years ago to today, a lot more of our clientele are more rooted in supporting local than they are like importing. I think because there have been a lot of movements, whether it's slow food or just supporting the trades that have slowly started to die out. So that's one of the things that we've noticed. They're supporting more local.
Okay, so what's for the business moving forward then? Are you going global or staying local? And are you putting more money into the business? It's been 14 years.
Kathy, you're putting pressure on me now.
It's a business show.
No, I'm just messing with you. So we definitely want to go global in the future. Whether it's in the next 5 or 10 years, but we really want to strengthen our branding here in the Philippines first, and then also use our brand to really build and connect with Filipinos and non-Filipinos abroad. So that way we can also highlight our culture.
All right, well, all the best
Yeah,
on
thank
this
you so much.
Season of Love. Thank you so much. Christian Valdez of CMV. Well, let's now talk to Aris Glenn Harabe. He is the owner of Miss Bloom M&L, a Manila-based flower business since 2021 that has grown since the rise of the online gifting and same-day delivery. Good to see you, Aris. Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga po.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Yes, po.
Sabi ko nga, bakit ka nandito? Dahil masyadong busy at the shop.
Yes,
But
po.
how are sales coming along? I've just had a conversation with Christian. Sabi nga niya, 10% higher on sales. Pero kamusta naman sa iyong artificial flowers?
Yes, ma'am. Since po artificial flowers, so ito po yung pinaka-the best season for us for the Valentine's Day kasi maraming mga busy people, mga working professionals na naghahanap po ng mga convenient and ready-made na products po for their partner as a
Paano
gift.
po convenient to? Gawa ba siya sa tunay na pinress ba siya o plastic? Ano yung mga materyales?
It's made of cloth po, so it's artificial flowers. So naglalast siya ng for longer. So tapos we put sa isang glass dome, then nilagyan po namin ng LED to be an aesthetic
May
po.
LED
Yes po.
pa, kaya
Yes po.
pala nakailaw to, no?
Yes po.
Yung presyo, tinaas ba niyo yung presyo from last year or did you manage to maintain the same?
We maintain the same price po. Since last year, we made like 100 couples na maging masaya for their Valentine's Day. Since today, we're expecting a high volume of orders also for since tomorrow na yung Valentine's Day. So our price range is less than 1,000 pesos. So very affordable for working individuals.
Okay, so sa tingin mo, mas kikita ka this year, this Valentine's?
Hopefully po, sir.
Okay, so I will leave it there and all the best. Salamat na
thank you
marami
po.
for joining us.
Maraming salamat po.
Aris for V-Day sales. Well, speaking of flowers, before we go, the crowds have started to flock to Dangwa in Manila on the eve of Valentine's Day to get the flowers, the real ones, for their loved ones. Mobile journalist Francis Rivera will give us a live price check. So Francis, magandang umaga. How much are the flowers selling there? The fresh flowers.
Good morning, Cathy. At ngayon yan, dito tayo sa Dangwa at patuloy pa rin yung pagdagsa ng ating mga kapatid na bumibili ng mga flower para for tomorrow's event. Kung hindi ang Valentine's Day, sa ngayon, yung mga napagtanungan nating shop, it varies the prices, but yung mga napagtanungan natin, yung katulad ng carnation, nasa 920 pieces na yung presyo. Yung mga gerbera naman, 450, 10 pieces. Yung mga local roses, nasa 150 per pieces. At pumapalo naman ng 1,300 pesos yung bouquet. And for the China roses, ay nasa 250 pesos per pieces. At yung kanilang mga bouquet ay pumapalo naman ng 2,500 yung kanilang bouquet. No? At yung tulips, nananatili ang kanilang presyo na 150 pesos per stem. At ganun din yung sunflower, naglalaro sa 500 to 800 pesos yung presyo ng mga sunflower at yung mga dried flowers, yung kung gusto nyo medyo long lasting, yung mga dried flowers naglalaro sa 800 pesos to 1,000 pesos ang kanilang bouquet. Cathy?
Decoration sa likod mo, nabibili ba? Napakaganda. Salamat na marami. Mobile journalist Francis Rivera reporting from Manila. Yan na ang pinakamalaking rose ornament that I've seen. Well, that is it for Money Talks. I'm Cathy Yang. Catch us again on Monday, 9:30 a.m. Kapatid, we are One News, all sides, all the time. Have a great day and a great weekend ahead.